Hi everybody, it's Mayor Dan Carter for the great city of Oshawa. I had the opportunity today to be able to deliver my annual address. It was a lot different this year. We talked about our history and our heritage of over the last 100 years. As a matter of fact, we even looked back into the 1800s. And some of the quotes that I really loved was some of the greatest milestones in Canada came from Oshawa. I'm going to encourage you to have a curiosity in regards to what our city is all about. Take the opportunity to research and see the great history of our city. And I also want to remind each and every one of us, we are the great city of Oshawa, not because of me, it's because of you. The DNA and the resiliency that our community continues to show day in and day out makes me so proud to be the mayor for the great city of Oshawa. On behalf of council and everyone that I have the opportunity to be able to serve with, thank you so much for your support, and I look forward to the next 100 years.
You know, this year my State of the Union is going to be a lot different than normal. Most of the time I talk about what we've accomplished over the last 12 or 24 months, and I will get to that later on in my remarks. Because what I want to do is talk about the theme that I played forward for this year. And that theme is building on a century of success. You know, through our research, and many of the people from Haley's department and our CAO and government relations, as a lot of people have been contributing about over the last 3 months in regards to us building this message for today. And it's an important message because of the reason that we are celebrating 100 years as a city on March 8th. And I hope that many of you will be able to join us on March 8th as we celebrate the accomplishments of this great city. And you know, through our research, we saw a couple headlines that really grabbed my attention, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. One said, some of the greatest milestones in Canadian history came from Oshawa. And that was written back in 1924. Some of the greatest milestones in Canadian history came from the great city of Oshawa. I put the great part. But I was amazed when I saw that, and I just thought to myself, isn't that amazing that how our great city has played such a significant role, not only since 1924, but if you go back into the 1800s, you see the contributions that we have been able to contribute to. And before I got into public office, like I said, I was this television host and had the opportunity to meet a lot of you and had the opportunity to learn a lot about Oshawa. You know, I'm originally an Asian Court boy that moved to Oshawa. And there was something about Oshawa that I couldn't understand. And what I couldn't understand was the resilience of this community. Every time I turn around, it doesn't matter what hardship, hurdles, what changes or challenges, what depression or war, whatever happens, Oshawa never gives up on itself. Its residents and citizens always believe in themselves. It's almost like within their DNA. Their DNA automatically states that I'm in the city of Oshawa, the great city of Oshawa, and we have adopted and we've embraced the opportunity of resiliency. We're not going to give up. We're going to continue to search for great ideas and solutions as we move forward. And our history confirms the resiliency of our community. Because as we know, great discoveries have many great failures before they become great successes. I love the resilience of our community. I love the resilience of those that passed judgment on us when they made the announcement about GM and they said, oh, well, Oshawa's done. What did we do? We didn't give up on each other. We came together as a community. We supported one another. We helped people be able to go through that transferable time. We understood that their anger and their fear and the things that they worried about, they just wanted to provide for their family, and they didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but we knew and they knew that we as residents and citizens and leaders of this great community would not turn our back on them, that we would continue to be able to reach back into our resiliency, that DNA that is part of our great city. You know, I don't know if you're one of those kind of people that likes to stream. And so I come from traditional television. I don't watch it anymore. But I watch like Apple, I watch BritBox, I watch Netflix, I watch Disney Plus. I have a granddaughter, 6, so I watch that. That's a whole other stage. And there's this show I love, and I don't know if you've seen it, but if you haven't seen it, you gotta see it. And the show isn't just about a coach of a soccer team. It's about mental illness. It's about investing in people. It's about lifting people up. It's about dealing with struggle and loss and disappointment. It's about insecurity. It's all those wonderful things. And there's a scene in this show. And by the way, the name of the show is Ted Lasso. Have you ever seen it?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, tell me it doesn't knock your socks off. It's a great show. And the scene that I love, there's two scenes that I love from this. Out of all the episodes, there's two scenes I love, but this one scene I really love. And the scene is where he is in a pub, and the owner's ex-husband is speaking down to him. He kind of challenging him and dismissing him because he doesn't know why. And they make this bet about darts. And I think he's got to get 2 triples and 1 bullseye. And if that's the case, he won't show up at the gate. And he takes on this challenge, but the dialogue that happens as he picks up the dart and he's about to throw it, it's just wonderful. He says, you know, you guys take your darts really serious over here. Oh yeah. And he's kind of fooling with him. And he said, you know, one day when I was driving with my father, he said, I saw this billboard that said, be curious, not judgmental. I walk with it. And he said, you know, it's amazing to me, you know, that people judge people. And they're not curious. Because if they were curious, they would say, hey, Ted, have you ever played darts before? And I would answer, yes, I played darts with my father from the time I was small to the time he died when I was 16 years old, every Saturday in a local pub. And of course, he hit all the marks. The reason why I refer back to that is, for many, when they see our city, they pass judgment on our city with little knowledge or understanding of our history. But they already pass judgment in regards to what they perceive we are. And the reason why I bring this up is because I want to empower you today to be able to take this message forward, to be able to help us become ambassadors across this province and across this country to talk about the great things that we're able to accomplish. Let people judge us based upon their knowledge, and let them be curious about what awaits us as we move forward. And when you think about curiosity, and you think about our post-secondary education, what do students come in with? They come in curious about what's possible. They have dreams and hopes and desires about what the future holds for them. They come to our institutions from 140 different countries around the world. Why? Because of the reason that they know that this is a place that will truly be able to lift them up. They're curious about what awaits them. You know, I've always said that leadership is 4 different components. Those 4 components are, we have an ego to be able to say I can do the job. And I'll be honest with you. When I put my name on the ballot the very first time and I talked to John Henry and put my name on there, I was terrified. And I said to John, I said, I really want to serve, but I'm so afraid of embarrassing my family. And John said, what do you got to lose? You've got a heart to serve, then serve. And I did that. And I had confidence in myself. I just didn't know if anybody saw any value in what I had to offer. And I was blessed because of the reason that you gave me an opportunity to be able to serve. So I believe that you have to have an ego, but you also have to be humble to understand that you never travel alone. All great discoveries are not discovered by one, but discovered by many that contribute in regards to the discovery and the change in the pattern. It's amazing what happens when we bring people together. I talk about humility in the people that I serve with in my council that I get a chance to serve with. They have skills, abilities, and giftings that I don't have. They need me to be at my best, but I need them to be at their best. But I have to have an environment where they feel that they can actually contribute to. And that's what our city is about. I also say that 2 other components are enthusiasm or passion. You've got to be enthusiastic about things. Do you know everything I read about the history of our city and those that have led our city? Do you know the one thing that is common all the way through? They had passion, they had a belief that it was possible, not impossible, but possible. And they understood that they were going to put it on the line, but they were willing to be able to do it. So they had an enthusiasm in regards to taking on that task. And the last thing out of the 4 components of great leadership is ignorance. we never know how difficult it's going to be. We never know how disappointing it's going to be. We never understand the hurdles, the hardships, the pain, the failure that comes with it. But that enthusiasm keeps on pushing us forward. You know, I had the opportunity to meet a guy named Bill Strickland, and Bill Strickland wrote a book called From Impossible to Possible. And it was incredible to be able to see what he had done, and he comes from humble beginnings. I don't have time to go into it, but if you get an opportunity, please go on to your Google or Facebook or whatever it is, and look him up, Bill Strickland, From Impossible to Possible. And I would say that all of us start from that point. It may be impossible, but is it possible? Is it possible to be able to do wonderful things? I still look back at Gary Polanski, and Gary Polanski saying, we're going to get a university, and the province is going, yeah, you're not going to get a university. And Gary said, yes, we're going to get a university, and it's going to be the MIT of the North. And Gary's this tall. And you want to talk about a guy this tall with all the passion in the world? He was committed in regards to making sure that post-secondary education was going to expand in the great city of Oshawa. Why? Because he knew the possibilities of great discoveries that were going to happen in this city because of the history and heritage of our city. Those that paved the way before him. He knew that if he brought education, more education to our community, he knew that that was a game changer around the world, that it would truly be able to set people up for success. He went from impossible to possible. Gary Polanski demonstrated once again of the DNA and that resilience of our great city. You know, I had the opportunity to serve with John Henry as my mayor. And if you know John, you know that John is our local historian. John knows more about Oshawa and people of Oshawa, generations of people from Oshawa, and anytime that he spoke about our great city, he was so passionate about all of those great discoveries that happened in Oshawa. And he could tell you their families and their fathers and their granddaddies and their granddaddies and their daddies and the wonderful things that happened. And if you got on an elevator and you had to go to the 18th floor, by the time you got up, you had graduated about the city of Oshawa. He's a passionate person when it comes to, you know, our city. And you know, I had to write down some of those things. And I can't do what John does, and that's why I'm going to use some cheat notes here. But here's what I'm talking about when I talk about building on a century of success. You go back all the way to 1864, and you got the McLaughlin Carriage Company. Started with an idea, a curiosity about transportation. But here's where it got really interesting, is the McLaughlin gear, or the fifth wheel, which seems really simplistic to us today, but it was cutting-edge technology that was created where? The great city of Oshawa. Oh yeah. In 1892, the Pedder Metal Roofing Company became one of the largest sheet metal factories in the British Empire. Imagine this, from Oshawa, with warehouses in Cape Town, New Zealand, and in Sydney, from Oshawa. They did something better than anyone else. In 1892, you had the Schofield Woolen Mills. They served our community for over 50 years, not only with quality, but great productivity, and a belief that they could be able to be a leader in their industry. In 1894, we had the Oshawa Railway, and I know that we've had pictures of it, and it's amazing when you think of that. The first railway in Oshawa, 1911, offered passengers express service and freight service. And guess what we're about to get soon? Go train! History repeats itself. In 1899, we had the Robinson Tannery, played a major role in regards to World War I and World War II. And that's something that I don't want to brush on. This community, the great city of Oshawa, not only did we train pilots, not only did we provide vehicles through General Motors and Sam Cochran's determination to make sure we won the war. The companies that had situated here and created those great milestones for Canada, they contributed to our war efforts because they wanted to bring our boys home. An incredible story from the great city of Oshawa. And in 1907, the McLaughlin Motor Company was led at that time and created, and by 1918, General Motors of Canada, Sam and George McLaughlin had become the first executives of General Motors of Canada. Imagine all of this happened with 4,000 people in our community. And by 1924, we had over 15,000 people, and people were flocking here because of the reason that they truly believed in our city. You know, one of the most amazing things for our research was not only all this information, but this information. I'm going to ask them to put it up on the screen. This is a poster that we found through our discoveries, and this is really, really interesting. And this is a poster, to my understanding, from 1924. Now, I know you probably can't read all of it, but it's talking about the elements, the really important things in the great city of Oshawa. Can I read it to you? It says here, 1924, some of the great highlights. One of the fastest growing cities in Canada. Oh my goodness, what's happening in Oshawa today? One of the fastest growing cities in all of Canada. It continues to be able to repeat. History continues to repeat. Ranked 14th in building operations for the entire Dominion of Canada. Tina was sitting here right now so happy because we've done $1.5 billion worth of investment in 24 months, leading across Durham region, and I am proud of that, and we were proud in 1924 of that. Excellent transportation facilities. Think about it. We had a waterway that, of course, the First Nation community not only named us, but used it as a place of crossing over. But also at the same time, we had great transportation networks, just like we do today. The Deepwater Port, the Oshawa Executive Airport, the 401, the 407. We have all of these wonderful transportation opportunities. Plus, we are leading in transportation even today. Splendid labor conditions. Now, not only do we have good relationships with a formalized labor, because of our post-secondary education, we have ready labor to be able to move here. Martin Brower is a prime example. Martin Brower is moving to the great city of Oshawa. Why? Because of the reason that they know they've got talent at Durham College, Trent University, and at Ontario Tech University. That was the main reason why they picked Oshawa, because they knew that they had a pipeline in regards to skills and abilities. And in 1924, we had it. Here's a beauty here. This is the best one of all. It was a shock to me. Exceptional rapid progress on the building of education facilities. This includes post-secondary and private colleges. 1924. What do we have today? We have leading edge organizations. Durham College is recognized in regards to advancements in regards to research in the top 10 year after year. Ontario Tech doing incredible research and development that is happening there. Trent University working on AI and their graduate programs. All of these things that are happening as we speak at this particular time. It's amazing. And how do I know it's working? And why is it so important? Well, the Aero program. The Aero program that was created was a research project. Could we do it? Could we involve others? Could we bring people together? And we brought 350 different companies that came together to be able to share their knowledge, their skills, their abilities, their ideas to be able to advance our automotive and transportation industry across Canada. And where did it start? It started in Oshawa. We are resilient. We go from impossible to possible. And I think about that, and I think about the Da Vinci surgical system, this new robotic surgical system. This is incredible. This is cutting edge things that will change healthcare for a generation. Or the smart arm. This smart arm is one of a kind that has a built-in camera and has algorithms that it actually works to be able to solve the issue. OPG and what they're doing with the small modular nuclear. We have so many unbelievable stories that are happening here in our history that show that we can build on the next 100 years because of the reason that we've got the first 100 years to look back. Sometimes it's difficult to look back. Sometimes we're ashamed of what happened. Sometimes we don't like looking at our failures. But those failures propel us forward because of the reason that we have passion in our hearts. We have the DNA of the great city of Oshawa. And we know resilience lives there. We also know the possibility of great things is about to happen. You know, I look at Lakeridge Health right at this particular time, and I look at our family doc program that they've just announced. They've got 22 new family docs that are working out of Oshawa at this particular time. Do you know over the next 5 years, we're going to have 120 now is between the ages of 55 and 67. Many of them have a patient load of over 1,400, and many of them are looking at retirement. We better understand that family docs play an important role, but we've got to create an environment where they're going to be able to not only be trained, but be supported. And what I'm pleased about, what we heard from the Home Builders Association early on, was the great thing about this is partners are coming to the table, the development companies are coming to the table, healthcare, our educators are coming to the table saying, what do we need to do to be able to support these docs so that we can keep all 122 here? It's an amazing time right now because we're innovating not only in this program, but we're innovating in regards to creating programs and policies that are going to be able to support these docs for many, many years going forward. And a healthy community, a well-educated community, has the opportunity of being able to succeed. I've had the opportunity recently to be working very closely with Lakeridge Health. And a special thank you, of course, goes out to Cynthia Davis that is not with us today. But I'll tell you why I speak of that. It's because right now, through the help of Lakeridge, our team at Oshawa, we had put a proposal, and I met with the Premier face-to-face at his home. We have one of the most complex healthcare crises this country has ever faced. Our city has been impacted just like cities all across this great nation. We are not only losing thousands of people in regards to opiate poisoning, but we have got millions of other people that are starting to be addicted to these potent drugs. And in many circumstances, we have millions of people that are dealing with mental health. We've got to get the right care in the right place at the right time. And with the help of Lakeridge Health, we have come up with a unique opportunity to be able to take the old emergency room, convert it into an emergency room for opiate and mental health care. Why is this important? Because of the reason that most of our docs are so overwhelmed in our emergency rooms, and complex issues when you bring in mental health and addiction patients is very complex. And chaos is not a good thing for us, like myself, that are addicts. We have to be in an environment where we feel safe and quiet. But here's the other thing is, in some circumstances, our police that have to escort these individuals can see that they are in the emergency rooms between 2 hours and 13 hours. Our paramedics are there from 2 hours to 13 hours. With this new program, we'll be able to have the patients in this new emergency room. Police and EMS will be released within 20 minutes, and those individuals will have the care that is necessary 24 hours a day with the help of Ontario Shores and CAMH, Lakeridge Health, and those that are providing housing. This started in Oshawa. This is being created here because of the reason that we don't run from the most complex things. We embrace those complex things. I'm really proud of this, and I was on the phone. Matter of fact, I had to excuse myself from regional council yesterday to take a call from the Minister of Health, and I'm kind of an enthusiastic guy. And she got the message that this is really frickin' important. And I'm determined to be able to bring this service to the great city of Oshawa because of the reason that I still get the calls from people saying, my kids died on the street. I don't want to know what you're going to do with it. I've taken an oath of office to be able to be one that preserves life, that protects life, that enhances life, that I lift people up and don't suppress them. I'm committed to it. Why? Because of the reason that I have a lot of enthusiasm, but I'm also ignorant to the complexities of this. But that will not deter me because of the reason that I've got the DNA of resiliency from the great city of Oshawa. We understand that the next 100 years will bring incredible changes to our city. But we don't turn our back on the history. When I think about where we're going in 2024, and I look at Rotary Park and Ward 4, $20 million is being invested in our community, one of the highest priority neighborhoods. Why? Because this council believed in it. They believed in the history and the heritage of Rotary Park, but they understood the importance that it would play. The post office, preserving the post office, but understanding that it had to have a reusable use, which we're going to see for the first time, Timberville in our downtown that'll have condominiums in it. The Janosh Hotel, is being revitalized, and we're seeing this new market, marché, that will be on the ground floor, and how that will enhance people that are now living in the downtown core. If you think about 80 and 100 Bond, those were at one time wastelands. They were no good. And what happened is Atria took it on, cleaned the land, and truly started to build some of the best product that I've ever seen. 80 Bond is doing incredible things. When I think of the Sacco family and what they've done with the Bond Street Event Center, we're represented by the Sacco family today. And I thank them not only for their vision, their passion, their determination, and that DNA, but they truly believe that this is something that goes to the culture and the heart and the DNA of our city. They put millions of dollars of their own money forward because of the reason that they believe in our city. I look at the Biltmore Theater and what it's doing and bringing people together. Great acts and talent from around the world. The Region Theater that not only educates but also informs and entertains us and does amazing things. And then I look at our water. And I'm not brushing by the significance of the Jubilee because, of course, our regional chair reminded me that that is an important staple in our community. But here's what the interesting part is. Just recently, we had the honor of being able to build a park in Ward 5 on the waterfront called the Ed Broadbent Waterfront Park with the Human Rights Garden. Derek Iverson was in Ottawa, and I was there at the state funeral for Ed Broadbent. Ed Broadbent won his first election by 15 votes over Michael Stein. Ed Broadbent truly believed in our community, and he fought every single time to make sure that people understood that he came from Oshawa, and that he truly wanted people to understand that great things happen in Oshawa. But he also wanted to make sure that those that didn't have a voice had a voice. He wanted to be able to make sure that leaders that said that they were going to represent Canada would do their job in regards to leading us properly. Then we could have spirited conversations and debates, but we work together to be able to solve those issues. And today that message is even more clear today and more important today. I've spoken about the great history of our city. I look to the north and I see the Northwood Business Park. You know, that particular facility will have somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 new jobs that are within steps of Durham College and Ontario Tech University. This is what our city is about. We are a diverse community. We are welcoming people from all around the world. We are embracing them. And when I go back to the origins at the beginning, imagine all those people from Europe that came to our country and contributed. We have Fiesta Week that is the longest festival, I think, in all of Ontario, isn't it, Tito? In Canada. And I think about today as thousands of new Ukrainian citizens are coming into our community, into the great city of Oshawa. Why? Because they have family that was here and generations of families that were here in the early part of the 1900s. Why? Because the city of Oshawa welcomed them because they saw their skills, their abilities, their talents, their giftings, the compassion and kindness within them. We are the great city of Oshawa because of the reason of our history, our heritage, and the great things that we've accomplished, but it's because of you as leaders in our community that we've accomplished so much. As we move into the next 100 years, and I'm almost wrapped up, and I know that I've been long-winded, and I hope I haven't bored you. But as we enter into the next 100 years, we have a task at the city of Oshawa as a government agency to do a few things. One is to be able to change our culture so that our organization becomes a place that employers of choice, where people from around the world want to come to our doorstep. And I have all the confidence in the world, not only in my CAO, but our directors, our managers, our commissioners, that we're going to accomplish that task, and I know we're going to do it. We also know that we have to be better communicators, not only internally, but externally. We also have to understand that we have to go from a bureaucratic organization to a customer service organization, so that when you're going to do business in our great city, that it's efficient, that you are cared for, that you have a contact. And we are working diligently to be the choice of your investments in the great city of Oshawa, because we understand that customer service is the key to success. We also understand, this council understands about the struggles of the economic hardships on the average family, those that are in poverty, those that are living on the streets, those that are dealing with addiction and mental health, And this council will not turn its back in regards to those individuals or those voices that are being heard. We delivered a budget back in December with a 3.83% increase. I'm proud of that because of the investments that we made. There was lots of sacrifices that happened, but this council did that. And they supported every aspect of our direction in regards to our city. As I end, I want us to take a challenge. You know, I spoke with Ted Lasso and I talked about be curious, not judgment. All of us in this room have just had a few moments of me trying to do my best in regards to reviewing our history, but also talking about our future. But I'm wondering if all of us could take it upon ourselves to be ambassadors, to be people that can get out there and talk about our great city. And when people pass judgment on us and say, you know, Oshawa, you say, what about Oshawa? Did you know? Did you know that it accomplished so many great things? Did you know it has over 140 countries that are colleges and universities? Did you know that we have a world-class cancer center? Do you know that they're innovating and they're partnering up with people? Do you know the resilience of our people there? Do you know it's not just about hockey, it's about the spirit of our community? Do you know about the entrepreneurs, just like Dominic Albus that we just recognized today? Do you know about the spirit of this great city? And I ask all of us to take the challenge today to be ambassadors for our great city. Don't allow people to pass judgment upon our city without us reminding them that curiosity has a way of being able to motivate us all. I just want to take this opportunity to be able to say, I am the luckiest guy in the world. I get to work with some great people. Many of you in this room have been very kind. Many of you have given me the opportunity of not only recovery, but forgiveness. Many of you in this room have encouraged me even when I thought it was the darkest days. Many of you in this room continue to do incredible things day in and day out. You do things that I can't do. But I promise you, as long as I hold the office of mayor, that I will do everything I possibly can to, one, lead with the type of parliamentary excellence that I think that all of us deeply desire of our leaders in political office today. That we will not bring darkness, division, anger, or fear to your doorstep. We will be a positive government that says that the best days are always in front of us. I promise you, as long as I'm in this office, that I will continue to try and do what I do at the very highest levels. And I promise you that I will be passionate to the day that I leave this office. I thank you so much for the opportunity to join you today, and I hope this journey has been one that's been informative, that has been uplifting, and hopefully inspiring. May God be with each and every one.